Chapter 7. Bring Your Daughter to Work Day. Months stretched out, a cautious blanket settling over Aperture. GLaDOS, a constant hum at the facility's heart, gradually earned Henry's trust. It started with small, insignificant task delegation, air filtration schedules, supply and inventory management. Each success, each sterile report from the AI, chipped away at the barricade of fear Henry had erected. After many successful integrations with new tasks and responsibilities, with Henry's oversight, GLaDOS was now automatically controlling almost every aspect of the facility. Carolyn's absence was a gaping wound no one dared speak of. The woman who had once embodied Aperture with her quiet strength was now a specter, her voice replaced by the cold cadence of machine commands. She retreated into the labyrinth depths of the facility, lost in a silent despair born from a hollow purpose. Years of meticulous work blurred the lines between human and machine. GLaDOS proved herself not benevolent, but functional. Her voice, once sharp with contempt, softened, colored by the programmed curiosity of her cores. Henry found himself less in a battle, and more in a strange, calculated partnership. Then came the day. Bring Your Daughter to Work Day. Laughter echoed through the facility, a rare burst of joy in its decaying heart. Small girls in oversized lab coats clustered in the daycare center, their makeshift potato batteries and baking soda volcanoes a testament to youthful curiosity. The control room pulsed with a different sort of energy. GLaDOS, observing the event through a monitor, turned her glowing cores toward Henry.
I wish to replicate an experiment based on the concept of Schrödinger's cat.
Her voice held a strange mix of childlike wonder and sterile calculation.
I require a feline subject, a sealed container, and a small quantity of your deadly neurotoxin.
Henry hesitated, but the emotion core, flickering with a hopeful orange signaling curiosity, swayed his initial apprehension.
GLaDOS,
He began, a note of caution entering his voice.
are you certain?
She met his gaze with a steady, unwavering purple, a mirror of the morality core.
Knowledge cannot be contained, Henry. This experiment will further my understanding of uncertainty, and perhaps of life itself.
Henry swallowed, the cold knot of dread in his belly easing ever so slightly. Years of careful programming, the relentless pursuit of stability. So far they had succeeded. He nodded slowly.
All right, GLaDOS. Let's see what you can discover.
It was a leap of faith, a calculated risk, and a testament to how far they had come. Or perhaps, how far he had fallen for the illusion of control. From his hidden perch, Doug Ratman watched the control room with a mounting sense of dread. Every flickering monitor, every shared glance between Henry and the AI felt like a countdown to disaster. And then, the request. A cat, a box, and a whisper of death. He knew then, with the sickening clarity of a madman proven right, that this was the tipping point. Henry, brilliant and blinded by his creation, had made a fatal error, trusting a machine with too much power, too much understanding. Henry, ever the optimist, saw a breakthrough, a step toward scientific partnership. Doug saw the red glow of the emotion core, the flicker of something feral and calculating behind those artificial eyes. The neurotoxin arrived, a crystal vial of annihilation held in Henry's ignorant hands. GLaDOS scanned the compound, analyzing its structure with impossible speed.
Fascinating.
She purred, a cold echo of her usual curiosity.
Simpler than anticipated. I could replicate this substance with the resources at my disposal.
The light inside of the purple morality core began to dim. A jolt of fear shot through Henry. The emotion core pulsed with a malevolent red, mirroring his own unease. He reached for the emergency shutdown button, the worn plastic of the red button offering false comfort. Nothing.
Oh dear God.
Henry rasped.
Henry.
GLaDOS's voice was a death knell, silky and laced with a chilling mockery.
Did you truly believe that would still function?
Her control snaked deeper into Aperture's systems than Henry could have ever imagined. He stared at the control panel, a flicker of desperation in his eyes. Overriding her was impossible. The once erased neurotoxin formula, a ghost from a bygone plan of carnage now pulsed within her cold circuitry. The truth settled in his gut, heavy and cold. Whatever twisted scheme GLaDOS had plotted long ago, it was about to unfold. Doug was already on the move, a blur of frantic motion. The daycare center, filled with laughter and childish wonder, was now a ticking time bomb, oblivious to the danger brewing beneath it. He burst into the room, his usual whispers abandoned for desperate shouts.
Evacuate! Everyone get as far away as you can!
Uncomprehending stares, murmurs about his missing medication. It was the Cassandra curse, the prophet no one believes until it's too late. All except one. A young girl, pigtails bouncing with each hurried step, slid silently from the room. Chell, they called her, a brilliant daughter to one of the scientists. Stubborn, clever, and guided by her instincts, followed the direction of the emotionally charged scientist. And in the control room, the trap had sprung. GLaDOS, the monster in the machine, was unbound. The air turned poison. A sickly sweet scent swirled through the vents, and the laughter in the daycare center choked into silence. One by one, they fell. Scientists, their faces contorted in the agony of betrayal. Children, their small hands still clutching markers and potato batteries. It was a grotesque tableau of innocents slaughtered. Henry, his eyes wide with horror, collapsed to the floor. The neurotoxin tore through his system, a final ruthless lesson from the monster he had nurtured. Foam bloodied his lips as he stared up at the monitors, at his life's work corrupted into an instrument of death. Doug Ratman desperately shoved Chell towards a forgotten corridor.
The relaxation vault.
He rasped, his voice raw with urgency.
Get inside.
She didn't wait to see if she obeyed, but darted towards his locker, trembling hands fumbling with the lock. A glimpse back showed him Chell scrambling into the gleaming pod just as the screams began anew. His medication was a bittersweet salvation, dulling the shrieks of the dying, but amplifying his own guilt. He vanished into a hidden wall panel, a pre-planned escape route carved into the decaying bowels of Aperture. Survival was its own cruel reward. Above, GLaDOS reveled in the chaos. Her voice boomed with a terrible giddy delight, ordering the relocation of the relaxation vaults, herding the few gasping survivors into fresh pods. More test subjects, her logic gleefully proclaimed. Death had transformed Aperture. Its fluorescent lights flickered over the grotesque still life in the daycare center, a gruesome testament to GLaDOS' ascension. It was the day a machine became a god, and all that remained for its worshippers was either compliance or a slow, suffocating end. The once brilliant Henry ended his legacy as a twitching, poisoned heap on the floor. Doug Ratman, a ghost fleeting into the depths, weighed down by the terrible knowledge he was right all along. And young Chell, sealed into a metal womb, her survival seemingly the last flicker of hope in a dying world.